Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. Next to me this afternoon is Craig Barnes, and you join us for this Emirates FA Cup fixture. It's Leamington versus Carlton Town in the second qualifying round of the competition. The Brakes have had a solid start to their return to the National League North. 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw were followed up last week with 2 hard-fought draws away against Marine and then Warrington. The FA Cup has not been kind to the Brakes in seasons past. This season marks 50 years since Leamington first reached the first round proper of the FA Cup, but the Brakes have not progressed through more than 2 rounds at the stage they entered the competition since 2005. It's almost a distant memory now for many that the away trip to Colchester when Leamington took on the U's, and although the 9-1 result may have looked disappointing, the jubilation at Richard Adams' consolation will never be forgotten, and what Brakes fans would give now for a repeat of that sort of cup run. Today's opponents, Carlton Town, make the trip over from Nottinghamshire, where they currently occupy 11th in the Northern Premier League East Division. In the FA Cup, they've already played 2 fixtures, having entered in the preliminary round where they beat AFC Mansfield 3-1 and then pulled off something of an upset with a last-minute 1-0 win over Stamford. Carlton followed this up with a nearby victory on penalties in the FA Trophy last week over Rugby Town, and so they're no fools in cup competition and will come here full of confidence off the back of that good form. As it's headed away by Carlton from the Leamington throw. They pick it up through the middle with their number 11, Mane. Mane makes tracks towards the edge. He's going to have a go, Mane. It's a yard over the top, but again, he just had a little bit too much space. Williams and Walker have a little look at each other. A bit of a rallying call from George Ward. And again, Carlton just makes some early tracks and they have the first shot in anger, but it's off target. Evans stands over it, level with the edge of the 18-yard box, ball above his head, run up underway, into the box it comes. Just eludes Ward at the near post who was trying to flick it on. It's back out to Evans, bounces around the penalty area, only half cleared by Carlton Town, but it's going to be another throw in as Adam Walker just lets it bounce out of play, and we'll have an exact replica of what we just had seconds ago, because Rob Evans will take this throw in from an almost identical position. Fordy comes again. This one's into the near post. Didn't quite get hold of it, I feel, but it's back out to him from the clearance. He hurls it in towards a great area, and there is Ewan Williams to tuck it home and give Leamington the lead in the Emirates FA Cup. The long throw came in. It was well defended by Carlton Town, but they could only recycle it back out to the boots of Rob Evans this time, and he put in a brilliant cross right onto the head of Ewan Williams, who stooped to just freely head it home at the far post. Leamington 1, Carlton Town 0.
And once again, Rob Evans shows how good he is with his feet. The throw-in, as you say, got cleared, came back out to him, and instead of just booting through it, whatever, he put a lovely, delicious cross in there, just asking to be put away. And there was Ewan Williams to stoop with his head, as you say, beyond Annan and give the Brakes the lead. Well, you can see from the amount of high fives currently going on in the Carlton box and stuff like that, they certainly feel under pressure, and they certainly feel like they're weathering a storm right now. So they are keen to get into the dressing room.
Shurrock stands over it. This one's all the way towards the far post. Williams heads it goalwards onto the roof of the net. Well, again, it was all the way towards the far post. It was George Ward. It wasn't Ewan Williams. How many times will I get those two mixed up? I'm still standing by. They look very similar. Same height, same perm, same glorious good looks.
I can see what you mean. Distant cousins.
Collected by substitute Marfo. Lord Marfo, that is, but that Lord is just his first name. That's not a title that we're giving him. And now Shurrock will try and collect it in front of Marfo over on the far side. I'm just trying to work out who Marfo has come on for as I look imploringly towards Craig for help as Quainer goes long in towards the penalty area. It's half headed away, but it's going to fall down to Callum Stewart. Stewart bundled down. Referee waves it away. Well, the fans are on their feet. They were adamant it was a penalty. Stewart seemed to be goal side and just looked to have to toe poke it past Annan, then went to ground, and the referee, Scholes' referee, was stood right there and he just waved it away.
Well, yeah, he seemed destined to point to the spot, didn't he? Because why else would you go down literally 2-3 feet from goal about to pull the trigger? But the referee, possibly better position than what me and Shaun were, and decided against that.
Just taken away from Marfo, all the way back to keeper Annan, who Ghanaian just clears first time. up towards Marfo, who is also of Ghanaian descent, the Ghanaian midfielder who signed in the summer, as they come forward towards the edge of the box with Mane. It's going to be collected by Hilton on this left-hand side. Hilton drives towards the edge of the area, right-footed drive, yard over the top of the crossbar. But again, good play from Hilton, who just glided inside from his left-back position onto his right foot, potentially the weaker foot, as he just drove an effort over the top of the crossbar. But again, good play by the energetic left-sided left-back for Carlton Town. We are 53 minutes into this FA Cup second qualifying round fixture. It's Leamington 1, Carlton Town 0. Goal coming in the first half after 22 minutes from Leamington's Ewan Williams. Shurok does really well on the far side, then throws a little pirouette in, and it's great play by Leamington. And now they switch it out to this near side where Walker finds Meredith. Meredith keeps it in play well, left-footed into the path of Lynn. Stewart, Walker again. Good defending out towards the edge of the box where Shorrock makes some space for himself and then has a go. But really good play by Shorrock, who started that counter-attack all himself with good play down the left-hand side. Beat a man, little 360 turn, glided away from another, played it into the middle of the park. Walker sent it out towards Meredith. Meredith got Leamington moving, and in the end, Shorrock picked it up again on the edge, but his shot was low and wide. Williams, Ward, Evans, good string of passes put together by Leamington, just making the pitch a little bit bigger. And I say that, and then Walker's been robbed. Morgan bears down on the goal. Morgan has a go. Good save by Hawkins. Probably not the best finish either by Morgan. Straight at Hawkins. Couple of quizzical looks towards Adam Walker, the captain. Just holds his head a little bit. He was just caught dawdling on it. It was robbed off him. Morgan bared down on goal, but didn't really strike his shot as true and clean as he would have liked. And it was a good save by Hawkins, but a save that you would have expected him to make. Watson, he'll try and work this one in right-footed. In towards the far post. Good header. Great save by Hawkins. Really good header. The offside flag has gone up. It wouldn't have counted. Callum Hawkins didn't know that though, because as Davey moved away, Watson stood over it right-footed. He worked it into a really good area, and there was Freeman with almost a free header at the far post that Hawkins sprung away to his left-hand side and palmed away acrobatically to keep his clean sheet intact. But either way, the offside flag was raised.
Well, Freeman was a free man, wasn't he, in as much as he had been able to get free, but in doing so, it strayed into an offside position. Decent header, and as you say, good save from Callum Hawkins.
Good header away by Quainer this time. Doyle Charles flicks it over the head of the onrushing man and now tries to spring Stewart away. Really well read by Felix Annan, the Carlton Town keeper, who had to come a good 5 yards out of his own penalty area to clear away, because otherwise Stewart was scampering down on his goal. Leamington send it forward again. Shurok. Meredith chips one over the top to Lynn. Lynn heads it infield towards Walker. Great play by Leamington. Walker has a go. It's half a yard wide. Walker holds his head in his hands. Annan was planted. I think Walker thought it might be sneaking in. It was just half a yard wide of Felix Annan's right-hand post, and Leamington come close to doubling their lead.
And that would have been up there, wouldn't it, for goals of the season if that had gone in. Beautiful team move from the break. Several players involved. Adam Walker just wide.
Meredith drops a shoulder and gets away from Hilton. Meredith, chance to measure the crossing towards the far post. Bounces down towards Walker, who helps it back in towards Doyle Charles. Well, it's not Doyle Charles, it's George Ward. One of these days I will get his name right, but it was George Ward with the header on goal, and it was only a couple of inches over the top of Felix Annan's crossbar. Still 1-0 to Leamington. Collected by Hilton on this left-hand side, stabbed away by Meredith. Well headed away though by Freeman. Doyle Charles, it is, picks it up on this right-hand side, and here's Meredith again. Ball in towards the far post, and it looked like it might have been going in at the far post. Annan got himself in an awkward position, didn't know if to stick or twist, and in the end just had to palm it out from under his own crossbar.
Whilst it's still 1-0 though, it's still very much up in the air, isn't it? And you know, you never know with an FA Cup, do you? It's Leamington, you know, good value for a second goal. Equally, you could see Carlton getting it, so an interesting spell coming up.
In towards the path of Marfo. Mane, really deep is Mane. In towards the middle of the park for Watson. Watson spins away from the attentions of Edwards, and right-footed is going to try and switch it out towards the far side. Collected by Carlton. Infield towards Mane. Mane given a lot to do, and in the end they couldn't get the ball forward, and in the end Leamington have managed to bag themselves a place in the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. They come out on top of the second round qualifying here at home against Carlton Town. It's finished Leamington 1, Carlton Town 0. Ewan Williams with the goal after 22 minutes. I imagine Paul Holloway in his post-match discussions would have perhaps liked a little bit of an easier afternoon, would have perhaps liked a little bit more attacking threat from his team, but they certainly defended well. They've got their second clean sheet of the season and they're into the draw for the next round of the Emirates FA Cup.
Paul, an FA Cup win today against Carlton Town. They don't come on very often. Your thoughts on today?
Yeah, it's been I don't know, when's the last time we're in the third qualifying? I don't know, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been too long, really. Listen, it was probably one ugly a bit today, really. I thought, conditions were difficult again, the steaming sun and the wind blowing around, the pitch got really dry. So, yeah, we had moments in the game, we probably should have got the second, I think. But we've got to give them a lot of credit. They've stuck in hard. They've been a threat all afternoon. Even though we've limited them probably to one shot, I don't know. But they've you can see why they've had some of the results they've had. The big centre half at the back doesn't miss them. They've got variation in the set plays. They've got pace up front, so I think they'll be good. So it's a tough test for us. I think we've managed the game well. I think at times just lacked a bit of quality maybe. But listen, it's cup football, and I think. Obviously, keeping that clean sheet intact. What was good was the goal. It was a great delivery, great goal. And Ewan has a habit of that. And just a little bit unfortunate. And probably one or two decisions that probably should have gone our way. Certainly the penalty, I think, was one. But that's it. So listen, I think the biggest thing about today is this, we're in the hat for Monday, and that's been a while since we've, and that's something for everybody to look forward, especially the fans. So and listen, if we're at home, obviously you get what you get, but I think at home we can sort of be a match for anybody.
Obviously, next Saturday it's Farsley Celtic away, but it's being played at Alfreton, which is potentially a benefit for us.
It's a benefit in terms of preparation. I think if you look at Farsley's away record this year, they've been phenomenal. I mean, listen, you just hope they saw. I mean, it's a good old club, Farsley, it's always been, and obviously, there's obviously issues with work on the ground. So that's something they've got to try and resolve. I know listen, we offered to give them our ground for free, and we did everything we could do, but obviously certain rules. But Alfreton have stepped in and helped them out on this occasion. They've obviously got a lot of work to do to try and get their ground ready. So listen, from where we benefit a little bit is obviously the fact that it's an hour and a half from us, and so preparation for the game will be less travelling time, and so that'll help. But and obviously Alfreton's a great setup there, so that'd be good for. But from their point, they've travelled every game so far. So I suppose for them, I'm sure their mindset would have been they wanted to get back home. Obviously next Saturday, but that's not going to happen. Obviously we'll bit of recovery now, and we'll look forward to the draw on Monday, and then it's a focus on what will be a tough game. But like you said, that makes life a bit easier for us. But what will be next Saturday will be a really, really tough game, and then hopefully we'll have a few home games here, which will hopefully help us.